Today we're going to talk about the outreach system, and I'm going to give you access to every single step it takes in order to get your first client within 7 days. The first active lead will come in within the first couple days, and depending on how many sales calls you have and how informed the client is, it'll change how long until you get paid. For me, with AI Consulting, with the car dealership that I messaged them, got the 2 sales calls booked. I'm still doing a 3rd call for this person. I use this system completely cold, never saw him in person before, only from text messages. I did 20 calls a day for a while, but ended up changing the text messages because I like the way that you can get someone to respond to you that's actually on their phone instead of having to go through a bunch of phone calls, people that might not pick up, may not pick up. And if you use more than 20 calls a day, then the dialer's expensive. Paid ads are expensive. You get the gist. This is the picture of me getting my first big deal. I got paid in cash. I was super happy. I was so hyped. I called every single one of my friends and I pretty much let them know that I had a sales call, and then afterward I acted like I had not done well and it didn't go well at all, but it ended up going well, and I was like, yo, here's what I got. They were happy, super excited. So we're gonna give you an SMS outreach system. This right here says choose a niche, find the pain. So based upon the type of person you want to target, you find something you can fix for them in your business. For me, with AI Consulting, I find pretty much anything that can be fixed through software, through human work, and I kind of replace it, make it better. I also work on lead generation offers because they work for more than one business type. Like, you can't sell a drafting software for a law firm to a car dealership, but you can sell a meta ads 60-second response agent off of the ads they're running to a law firm, car dealership, doesn't matter where it is. So I like lead gen offers because they're kind of broad, especially lead reactivation. So I just make sure they have the money to pay, make sure they have the problem, and then decide an offer. For me, lead reactivation, I pretty much offer to go through their past leads for free, and then based upon how many book calls they get, they'll pay me for it. So offer type, choose the offer, choose the pain, go for it. When marketing, you're pretty much selling money at a discount. That's lead reactivation. Also, when you're doing automations, you're doing it for time. So whatever you're trying to sell, it could be agency packages, it could be literally video production, does not matter at all. But get your offer right, get the first text made. Next, pull the numbers, filter mobile only. So for me, I got 1,800 numbers from this platform called Code Info. It's a dude named Carson Fox that made that software. It's fire. And then I ran it through a landline filter, and I got this many. I actually built my own because I did not want to use the $200 upfront payment for the landline remover software, so I built my own. Then I can send 400 messages a day. So I sent about 100 a day actually, and I sent 2 sets of 100 messages to the same unique contacts. So the same 400 unique contacts will really be 800 to 1,000 messages, and you want to send about 400 a day. You can do 100 per Google Voice line, and I sent mine through Google Voice. In this system, I'll show you how to do Google Voice. You can do your own way if you want to, or use my way, or you can go online and find some bulk texter stuff, but they charge by the monthly payment, and I don't want to pay that, so I had to make my own through coding. I also used AI to create a Chrome extension, or at least my own Python script, to be able to try this, and it took me 3 or 4 days to code it, and a lot of the ways that I saw online that said, oh, just use AI to do it, did not work. It's not an easy thing to do, but you can figure it out, put time into it, take a few days. So 100 per day is to test one offer. So after 100 text messages, you get a response rate. Depending on that information, you might need to go again, but you should not be doing over 200 or 300 messages toward one offer and not getting a response rate, negative response rate, positive response rate. You'll know if the offer is good or bad on the target or the niche based upon that. And once you find out if it's good or bad, change the offer. It can be the same niche, you can have the same business, just change the way you're wording the value you're giving them and the way they're opting into talking to you, because the goal is to opt in with you, right? So you rip for 100 messages, get 1% response rate. Okay, nice. Follow with those leads. Try it again. New contacts, new messages. Also follow up with the people that did not respond a few times, 2 to 3, maybe 4 texts at a time per contact before you start leaving them alone. Make sure in the last text you send them, you literally say, hey, last time texting you. And during the period of time in which you're following up with leads, you want to send value. You don't want to just say, hey, I'm selling you again. Hey, I'm selling you again. Just say, hey, here's some value. Here's some testimonial. Here's a proof or something. Here's some cool thing I found about someone related to your business. It can be helpful. Next, ACA framework. So 1% response rate. Then you go to the ACA framework. Also, all this will be in the flowchart end of the video. I'm giving you the points right now for how to think about it, the mindset around it, and then we're gonna go right into the flowchart, and I'll show you the whole diagram of how you can frame it, right? ACA framework, you got a response, a positive response. What do you do now? You have to qualify them. So for me, it was lead reactivation for a car dealership. In order to make sure I can make them money, I have to find out how many contacts they have and how long they've been in business. With that in mind, I'll say, glad you responded. Your business is cool. Cool, you've been in 15 years of business. That's nice. And then I respond, hey, how many leads do you have in your retail database, right? So acknowledge what they said, compliment them, ask a question. That's the mindset. Next, closer. And you do that until you have the qualification questions ticked off and you have a reason to get on a call with them. You want to build up social understanding to the point where there's a reason to get on a call and you can offer them a call. You don't offer a call until you have a reason to offer a call, because you might not be able to work with them. And also it'll come off like you're trying to be super desperation focused, which is bad. Next, closer framework. You listen first. This is a series of questions. This is on the sales call. So you've got the lead in, you ran the ACA framework, you booked the call. In the text message, you use a Calendly link or something and you ask them for the information. They send it to you, or you called them. You could have got a text back and called them immediately. Doesn't matter. You booked the call. Now on the call, what do? Closer framework. You heard this before. You can find information online. Clarify, label, overview, sell, explain what the concerns, reinforce. Make sure in that call you prepare with some sort of proposal and some demos of what you're making, and make sure you let them know ahead of time that you're going to show them something you already built for them. Don't say AI too much. Focus on outcomes. They're joining the call for an outcome. You built an outcome for them that's already halfway built. You want to show it to them for their business. Next, 7 days, one move at a time. Pick the niche, pull 1,000 phone numbers, write the text, make sure you clean those phone numbers, send a batch, 100 to 200, test the response rate. Then when you get a response rate, positive response rate, use ACA framework to qualify them for your offer. Get on that call, close them with a closer framework, send a scope of work to someone else to work on it, and then you collect the cash. Okay. Next. So here are some systems you can use. I used these when I was trying to get my first client. It was coldinfo.com for a bunch of database leads. They pulled Google Workspace leads in a like Google Places leads in a big batch, and then I could export from there pretty much for free. Karsten Foss's platform, CodeInfo, is fire for that. You get 10,000 free credits. Check it out. Twilio API. I decided to use Twilio instead of using the other options online like landline remover to clean my database, because I don't want to spend $200 up front. I wanted to just run $13 and get a bunch of like information back on mobile numbers, who's the landline number, who had that internet bullcrap number, and who do I call, right? Next, Google Workspace. In order to run Google Voice automations for texting, you're going to have a Workspace account, and it costs $8 per user or $8 per phone number, and you pay $10 on top of that just to get the voice add-on. So 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, depending on how many texts you want to send, how many numbers you need. But for me, at a scale I am now, I'm under 10K a month, but I'm reaching there soon. 400 messages a day is fine. Next, Google Voice add-on. Okay, push over. This is a way to get the voice numbers to coordinate. For me, I use pushover to send me notifications to my phone that I'll never miss, because I have 4 phone numbers and people will text back on the phone number. On Google Voice app, you won't get notifications on all 4 phone numbers at a time. So you have to use the email notifications, forward them to one email inbox, and then send that email inbox to an app called Pushover, and then Pushover will notify your phone when you get a positive response. Cal AI is how I actually do the meeting bookings. I like the way it looks on my calendar. And I also add automations for SMS and phone calls to make sure like they get reminded when the meeting's about to start, and also when it's been initiated. Next, Claude. I use Claude for a lot of proposal documents, flowcharts, scope of work, bunch of other stuff, but you get the gist. General AI tool. Next, so now that we have covered the general mindset for it, I'm going to give you the full flowchart for how you envision this entire process. This is kind of this explains it better. You can see everything. So choose your niche, find the pain, build a demo in Docs. For me, it's a proposal document, scope of work for how I'm gonna get the tasks done just for myself, and I can delegate to someone else quickly. I might even put that on the job posting board to see who can work on it, or toward my own internal team. Then at the same time, have a way to accept payment, a way for them to sign the contract, a way to so Stripe.com or whatever, and then also live demos, whatever tools you're gonna give them or assets you're gonna give them. Next, you scrape the phone numbers, you clean that list with Twilio API. I use that, or you do it with Landline Remover. I wanted to make it as cheap and efficient as possible, so I coded my own. The link to that is in the description as well. Next, you set up Google Workspace in the description, how I automate those messages. I built an entire software that for me personally, runs on my MacBook and sends text messages, also cleans text messages in the background while I'm working on things without having to pay $40 a month, $50 a month to some text message sender on top of Google Workspace. Like with Instantly, you got to pay Workspace for the emails, $8 per user, which is like $40 a month. Then you got to pay Instantly themselves, which is $40 a month. So it's already at $80 a month, $80 a month before sending emails at all. Then if you pay for the leads, it costs like $50 a month on top of that too, maybe $100. So now you're at like $200 a month just to send some emails, which is annoying. And if you're starting out, you want to have, how can I send a bunch of messages for the least amount of money so I can learn business? And I built that for myself, and it's in the description. Next, write your first text. Do not say the words AI if you're doing AI consulting. You want to make it low friction as possible. You want to frame it as you're working with them. Next, you want to add spin tags. So my software does this like innately. So when you put the message in, you have 3 options for some of the words. So if I say the cat ran down the street on the ran word, I'll have a little parentheses box and it'll say sprinted, jogged, ran. And then randomly it'll choose one of those 3 options every time it sends a message out. If you have 4 or 5 of those in a outreach message, you can be sending 27 to 28 variations over a period of time, which allows you to not get your phone numbers banned, or you look less sus, which is good. Next, you send in batches. You don't want to be sending all at the same time to the whole list. Terrible idea. Send in batches. Next, notification chain. Google Voice will, when someone texts your Google Voice number, not when you text out, when someone texts you, you get an email. That in the Gmail inbox, you want to forward that to an inbox, one unified inbox for all your numbers. And then with this one, you want to forward that to Pushover. And Pushover will be on your phone. It's an app on your phone, notification, and it pops up really big and blue, and you can say, okay, bet, I'm gonna text this person back. Next, response rate check. 1 to 2% positive response rate. If it's negative, if you don't get a 2% negative as well, minimum, then your number is blocked. But get that 1 to 2% positive response rate. And if you see that your offer is good for now, keep testing it. Next, acknowledge, compliment, ask a question. That's the ACA framework. Once you have the positive response rate, if they're qualified, book that call, do it in the text. Next, on the call, closer framework, CLOSER, closer, clarify, label, overview, sell, and then explain away the concerns and reinforce the decision. There's an E right in the middle there. Next, the build, you build the actual service for them. For me, it was lead reactivation, sometimes website chatbots, sometimes AI receptionist, but you get the gist. Also, in the description, very, very limited time, like I'm selling the whole system I use to get this outreach model up in the first place. You literally just install it, put it on your computer, and you can send up to 1,000 SMS a day. And you can also you can clean as many numbers as you want based upon API credits. With the other landline removal softwares, it costs you literally like $200 up front to start. For me, it's literally like $25 to start. I think right now the price may go up. And then with the SMS automations, literally it's free to have the software once you get it. And as long as you have a workspace Gmail and some phone numbers on there, you can send messages infinitely, no matter what. So have a good day. A lot of value in the comment section. See you soon.